Uh, Thank you, everyone. And especially thank you, Suzuki-san, Nikhil, and Sreenivas, to agreeing to talk with us. Um, we spoke about Gyan, we spoke about GCC. What we want to understand from you through the course of the next 20-25 minutes is your practical experiences as you have worked in the GCC market, challenges which you have faced, and so that the entire world can understand if they are in a similar situation tomorrow, what is the best way to counter that, right? So again, we would focus on understanding your journey, your experiences, things which have added value, challenges you have faced. So let me cut this and begin with the first question itself. It would be great to understand from all three of you your experience and your journey and about your GCC as well. So maybe Suzuki-san will start with you, just to understand what has been your experience and just to give a background of your GCC as well at MUFG.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thank you everyone for having me here. My name is Suzuki from the MUFG, which is one of the Japanese financial the group. And we just established our GCC here in Bangalore 4 years back. And so during COVID period, we are struggling to the ramping up. But after the COVID, so we ramping up to the now the exceeding 1,000 the staff for the coming we have a start from the 200 in early of this year, and now exceeded 1,000. What we experienced here is there was a lot of talent in India, especially for the tech talent. So it's a really amazing. Just I stay here for eight months, but I see a lot of this great talent in India. So what I experienced here is that although there are a lot of talent, but also as the previous speaker said, we are looking for the talent. Although there are a lot of talent, and what is fits to our business. So then we are still have some challenges to get a right talent in the right place, in the right timing. So we are still in a journey. We are going to expand to 2,000 and 3,000 in the next 1 or 2 years. And then again, we are seeing there are a lot of challenges to have a right talent in a right place. So then, for now, so IBM kindly help to give us the right talent in the right timing because they have a lot of portfolio, a lot of the capability to bring us the solutions. So then we are now so far doing good. So thanks for for the support. So then we are going to going forward and more and more.
Yeah. Thank you, Suzuki-san. This was really informational. And Nikhil, we were talking about this earlier as well. What has been your experience given, multiple centers, new unit?
Oh,
Nikhil. Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, so hi everyone. For those of you who are seeing me maybe or who have seen me in the past, so I was sitting in the back of this room many years ago when this whole journey started for IBM. In fact, one of the first big signings that we had was for IBM. I was part of that. So I was on the other side of the table at that time. So it's great to be here and talk to all of you in this new capacity. So about me, so I work for a company called 𝗖𝘂𝗺𝗁. If a lot of you don't know about it, it's because we are in a massive global transformation. We are growing inorganically over the world, and we realize that for us to be successful globally, we have to have a unique brand globally. We acquired a lot of companies. They were working independently, and we decided to have a global identity for ourselves first. Before we talk about GCCs, maybe it was a transformational initiative that we did. As part of that initiatives, we decided to set up GCCs, or what we call as CBS centers. So in my role today, I manage our CBS centers for India. We have one in South America, in Costa Rica, and we have one in Eastern Europe, in Lithuania. So in my role, I look after these 3 centers culturally, and that's one of the things. We are learning a lot every day. We are new to India today, very new to India actually compared to most of the GCC leaders who are here today. But what we are getting from India is the energy, the talent, the innovation more than anything else. And why we are here is like everybody said, and Lula said so well, we are not here just to get people, we are here to make real innovation. And innovation center is what we are trying to build here. So Santosh, he is our trusted advisor right now, and he has been helping us for a while in this journey. So IBM has been integral part to this, and we are really excited to be here, and hopefully soon everybody will know about 𝗖𝘂𝗺𝗁, I hope, and we are looking forward to this partnership to move forward and collaborate into doing something really unique for 𝗖𝘂𝗺𝗁 as we move forward.
Thank you, Nikhil. I think what you said makes a lot of sense. I mean, India has 1500 plus GCC, so truly, I can call it a land of GCC if I may. Right? Sreenivas, based on your experience, can you talk about your journey, background, your experiences in India?
Yeah, maybe I'll try to quickly introduce. I know I don't have to introduce about Sony, but most of you know about it. Yeah, so this, we started our GCC journey way back in '97 when Sony wanted to do something in India here. So we have two divisions. One division focuses on the Sony technology that goes into the Sony product. The other division focuses on the enterprise IT services. So I represent the enterprise IT services, so probably I would like to talk about how we have grown over a period of time. Like any GCC, we also started as a cost arbitrage, primarily associated with the Asia Pac. I think we are a part of the Asia Pac and we are working closely. And then, of course, the center over a period of time, we are able to move up the value chain. Today, we are close to about 3,200 people, both divisions put together. And we are able to deliver various value to the headquarters. I think, from a typical, we were initially looked up like another service provider working with a regional IS, but now some of us, we do play a global roles. We are managing the global competency centers, a couple of things, and we have come a long way, but of course, we are still trying to figure out how to move forward. As things will keep coming, things keep changing, the new technology, new environment, so we need to keep it up, how we have to see that. So it's a long journey to cut short, I think, yeah, we are able to, I think, a couple of things helped us to transition into the, where we are today here. One other thing we talked about, of course, initially it was a regional focus, but then we have to sell ourselves, we have to go around, like any service provider, we have to go around, market ourselves, build our trust and other things. That gave us a couple of opportunities where we are able to work on the global projects. Basically, that time, I think Sony was working centrally consolidating the treasury operations across the globe. So that's the first opportunity we got for us, where we successfully delivered. Second one was also related to the shared services. And third one is also a development of large-scale development. This was around 2005. Till such time, I think, we are more like AT&M, what do you call, cost arbitrage model. So that kind of, gave an entrance to the larger projects where, we are involved in the execution of the global projects. But once again, there, I think, we are more about execution, not involved right from the planning. So we have to work closely with the various entities to build the trust and, evolve ourselves and also leverage the opportunity that came along. So if you remember around 2014, Sony was a very bad shape in terms of financially. So a lot of things were expected in terms of transformation, in terms of financially. So that also is a challenge for Sony, but it also gave an opportunity for us to leverage how you can leverage it. So we've demonstrated our capability by, leveraging the opportunities in terms of executing the transformation projects, global projects. So that's proud of the credibility. Secondly, we also realized that till then we are more delivery focused. So we thought, we are missing the people development. So that's when we started focusing on the competency development. So we started a couple of competency centers. So to build the competency, to see what is going to happen, how we can evolve over a period of time, how you can make it here. And importantly, we also brought in an idea of innovation because people are always, saying, hey, okay, we are doing delivery, we are doing projects, we are delivering what more? People are getting a kind of demotivated. So we thought, okay, hey, how do you started in a small way. I think we said, let's get an idea, let's see how to do it. It's more of a bottom-up kind of innovation, not a top-down innovation. So this bottom-up innovation, slowly we have moved into, started selling, and we started getting ideas for business. We also moved in. So this kind of, challenges in the environment also help us to provide opportunity to transform ourselves here. Okay. And of course, I think, 2017, I think as Sony moved into earlier Sony used to be regional IS centric. If you look at the organization, it's mostly regional IS. So in 2017, we become a global IS. So basically, IS also became a global organization. So that also provided some opportunity for us to get into the global role and also facilitate the Sony here. So just to summarize, I think, we are like any GCC, we started our journey through a cost arbitrage, but of course we have found our ways of challenges and see how we can leverage them, how we can grab them. Unlike a service provider, once we fail, I think, we are done with it, because we cannot go to another client and say, hey, give me another opportunity. So internally we have to prove ourselves. So of course the core is the delivery, but of course we have to see how to differentiate ourselves to create a value. So.
Thank you, Srini, for that. You mentioned a very interesting point, and I think we have spoken about this. We have seen that some GCC, when we started the GCC journey in India, right? You also mentioned it was more of a cost play, and now it is more about driving enterprise value. Suzuki-san, from your experience, what are some of the ways in which you think you have been able to drive value for the broader enterprise?
Okay, thank you. First of all, so when we start this journey, of course, the first priority is we can enjoy the labor arbitrage, which is coming from the US and the EMEA. But we are now centralizing a lot of the business from across countries, the EMEA, US, and the APAC. And what we are seeing is there are a lot of inconsistency in our operation itself, which is different country by country. So now we are actually well acknowledged by the over top of the house that India, the GCC, is the area which we can transform our operation itself to be standardized into one method rather than having 50 method. So then they are very keen to see what kind of transformation can happen in the next 1 or 2 or 3 years by standardizing. But standardize means which is we can share the knowledge, we can share the experience, and we can be very efficient to change the things. If we can change after the centralization, standardization, one thing will change. Everything will spread out to all over the countries. Only the single way, which there no any deviation, which is the very efficient and the very cost effective and the very innovative. So then what we are put a pressure from the head office is you need to do the standardization, but how to do it. So then I need to say some professional skill set and experience from the IBM team. So then I'm very looking forward to working with you. So.
Thank you, Suzuki-san. I think, yes, efficiency, productivity, these are terms which have gained a lot of prominence, especially after COVID. It was all about how can you drive maximum productivity, how can you drive efficiency. I think one thing which after this as well, what matters is how can you create great culture, and especially when you have multiple centers. So Nikhil, from your experience, you spoke about having centers in Costa Rica, in CEE, and India. How do you think, or how are you planning to ensure that all these units operate seamlessly with each other, have a great culture? Some thoughts.
Right. So when I joined, that was the first question I asked on day one. That you tell me to have 3 centers. They speak different languages, different time zone, different processes, and quite frankly, different companies that have to be supported by these 3 centers. So we have been growing inorganically for a while. And in pharma distribution, typically there is always a cost pressure and margin pressure. So one of the big revelation for me was I was coming at a end of a journey that they took to harmonize the organization, and that concluded in the name change that I talked about earlier. So bringing single culture and a very proven and successful culture was number one priority for the CEO and the board, even before they decided on a GCC. Because talking the same language, having the same processes, even what to call a bin inside a warehouse was something that they started on this transformation journey. So I would say my life was a lot easier compared to what it sounds like when I came in from a process point of view. Of course, the talent challenges and the other challenges are there. But as a company, I would say we took a lot of steps. I won't say we are perfected, but we are learning every day, and some of the experiences that are called out by Suzuki-san, I mean, they are ours also. Everybody wants to understand how soon can you be successful in a GCC, right? Because they want to have quick wins, quick cost benefit, quick innovation and all. They are learning that it's a journey, similar to what Sony went through and some of the other GCCs went through. So we are at the beginning of the journey. We have very aggressive targets, very, very aggressive targets for ourselves. And we are making sure that culture or language or partner, so every partner in the company we work for, at least, we treat them as preciously as any employee. So that's something that's part of the culture, and anybody who has worked with us over the last 15 years in this room will say the same thing. So culture is very important. Single language is equally important. And making sure we call out if something is not working early. It's something that we are building in the team, which was a lesson that we have learned over the years. Sometimes in India, we don't say no very easily. So that's something that we are trying to change now. In other countries or cultures, it may be easier. But those are the things that we are working on. Again, it's an early journey, but so far it has been, I would say, pretty smooth. That's what I'll say.
No, thank you, Nikhil. And sorry.
Yeah, I think just to add to Nikhil what he said, I agree with him. I think there's also translation to ways of working. Just to give an example, the ways of working, how you work with Western countries with Japan is much different. Okay, the way the Japan does the planning, execution, we have to respect that, because what happened is that's how the culture comes. Because their culture gives a lot of importance to the planning, the details they get into that. So whereas we tend to immediately jump. Okay, we have an idea, we jump it, we try to execute it. So that's way of Indian culture. So understanding both the sides and see how to manage it is also important. That's a big lesson for us also. Of course, that's also, I think, ways translated to ways of working and how it can be done. Yeah, I just want to.
So, Srini, just to build on that, right? So you spoke about this being sort of a challenge, trying to understand different cultures. What other challenges have you faced in your journey at Sony, otherwise?
Yeah. I'm sure, I think all GCC have a similar challenge. When we started our journey, we are like, okay, we are like another, see, if you look at it in Sony context, I think, it's a decentralized IS. So each of the regional IS is treating us like another service provider, not even a partner, okay? And then there's no mandate from the headquarters. So now the question comes is, how do you break that and how do you build that trust among themselves? So that's the biggest thing what we have to do it here. So, second thing is also importantly, I think, alignment with the management, alignment with the headquarters. Okay. So that's very important because we need a strong support from management headquarters. How do you create that trust among them? And also trust among the stakeholders. So for example, like anything, when you work as a partner, like it's true with IBM or anyone, we start working together, it takes time to build the trust, and then probably I think that's when we start doing the things here. So the management alignment and the trust takes time, and so we have to see how we have to do. And then, of course, in our context, we need to have lots of patience. Yeah, some of you have done much in a quicker time, probably you have done here, probably have taken a longer time, but I think patience is the essence of the game. And then, yeah, these are the three critical challenges, what I can say.
Well, I'm sure a lot of you sitting here can relate to what Sreenivas mentioned, because, I mean, that is what we also hear when we speak with multiple GCCs. Right? So, in closing, I want to understand from all three of you, how do you see the next 2 to 3 years, right? Your perspective from your journey, and what are you looking forward to, right? So maybe we'll start with Nikhil, you.
All right. So actually, Kamal scared me when he said I have 6 months. So, but I appreciate what he said, because we are also doing a lot of research and innovation and I would say trying to realize the impact of some of the newer trends in technology that are coming and the impact that we have, because quite frankly we are a late entrant into this space. But the advantage we have is we have a lots of experts and who are sharing their experiences and lesson learned. And in 2 to 3 years, we want this GCC center to be not only integrated and, like NS said, and preferred service provider, but we want it to be an innovation hub for the company. Some of our competitors are reaping benefits of this. And like I said, that's one of the motivation also for us as to how do we make those innovations and those innovative, let's say, differentiated products for our customers, so that we start reporting this GCC as a profit center soon. I mean, that's our vision in 2 to 3 years. If we can achieve that, some people tell us 2 years is too small, too short. With Gen AI, I think it's really real, probably. So Kamal said 6 months, I would say maybe 2 years. So that's what we are trying to do.
Thank you, Nikhil. That makes a lot of sense. Suzuki-san, your take on this?
Yeah, thanks so much. So because we are a Japanese company, so their headquarters is in Tokyo, and so many people is working in Tokyo in Japanese. But also the next 2 or 3 years, there will be this big change, because of the AI and the ChatGPT change a lot of things. So then once we bridge the language barrier between Japanese and English, so we should have a huge change in the next 2 to 3 years. But there are still some inaccuracy in terms of the translation or the give us the answer which we asked in the ChatGPT. So then, if we can overcome this inaccuracy, so that there should be another disruptive improvement in our GCC. So that this is my expectation, and then I want to make it happen.
Thank you, Suzuki-san. I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, ChatGPT and the possibilities with it are, quite frankly, as of now, unparalleled. Sreenivas, your take on this?
Yeah, as I said earlier, I think every challenge is an opportunity. So we are able to couple of challenges, like be it a COVID, be it any other opportunity, like financial crisis that Sony always helped us here. But the way we look at AI Gen is also kind of another great opportunity for us. So this time we are trying to see not only how we can support business, but also how we can leverage to improve our IS efficiencies and optimization. So as you know, like Sony has a lot of content, media, multiple languages. One other thing what you are seeing is how do you put this content from, say, Japanese or English to a local content to India. Okay. So how do you, if you have to do these things manually, it's going to be very challenging here. So similarly, how do you globalize the content here? So this area of, we see a lot of opportunity where we can leverage AI Gen. We are already doing certain kind of a proof of concept, demonstrations, and see how we can do it here. Okay. So this is the way I think we are closely working with the business. So secondly, also, I think, because of today, if you look at the chatbots, probably I think, I can say that, sorry to say, but there are glorified versions of IVR where you say 1, 2, 3, select one, you get to select this, you do here. So I think we are now with the ChatGPT, I think, we have got into kind of a better technology. We can naturally get into the queries and other thing there, so we can answer better. So, for example, we are also trying to see how we can help this in a customer center. Typically, many of you have reached the customer center, you might have seen, by the time you have reached 3 or 4 calls, and probably, for the person who is receiving the call, he or she doesn't know what has been happening in the past. So how can we quickly summarize the case history to them so that they can answer better here? So these are some of the business use cases we are looking at, how we can help business to respond better, grow faster, and other thing there. So, but unlike last time, I think this time we are also trying to see not only business, how IS Health itself can help it. For example, like how we can use the AI apps to leverage the operations, how we can do it, how, like we can use the AI/ML in terms of, support queries. Like many other times you might have seen, tickets comes to us, support tickets, and people take time. How do you turn around these tickets quickly by using the historical data or what has been done in the past? So these are some other things we are trying to do. Of course, I think it brings its own challenges, but we are trying to use it to our advantages.
Thank you, Srini. I think hearing all three of you, it seems pretty big plans for the next 2 to 3 years. And by the way, thank you for sharing your experiences, practical advices today. I'm sure the audience found it useful. So thanks again for this, and thank you for joining me on the panel as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much. Thank you.